The Book of Genesis, illustrated. That is to say, the Book of Genesis, illustrated by R. Crumb. So R. Crumb, for those who don't know, is a very famous cartoonist. And he's got this style. As soon as you see this kind of style with the dots and the stuff, you know it's R. Crumb. In any case, he has done a Book of Genesis, and it is not. It's not a joke. You know, some people might think that R. Crumb, if you know him, might have done some sort of satirical edition, but it isn't. It's just Genesis. Now, look, they say the first book of the Bible graphically depicted, nothing left out, adult supervision. Well, that's because, you know, the book of Genesis has some stuff in it that, you know, is actually pretty questionable. And so, or, you know, sexual and violent and things like that. And he shows it all just as it is. And that is... He has a style. I don't know. I don't love his style. The thing is, every single person in R. Crumb's world is ugly. To me, they're all just ugly. They all have they just all look gross. And so I don't love that. I like my beautiful people. All right, but let's have a look inside, okay? So this is what the dust jacket looks like. And it's funny, you know, it's sort of written like a comic. Like it includes all 50 chapters, and you know, it's got all the things. But if you can see just from here, do you see any beautiful people? First of all, Adam and Eve look very, very similar. I'm sure that's on purpose. But some of these people were supposed to be really pretty, and they ain't. All right. This is a hardback edition published by Norton. It's got a glued binding. I would have preferred a sewn binding. The paper is sort of this creamy kind of color. Obviously, it's all black and white, and it's a pretty thick paper. It's like nice production quality here. Nice thick paper. And of course, there's a lot to look at here because it's a graphic novel. It's a graphic interpretation of Genesis. So I suppose that's a novel. In any case, you can see the style here. You can see that he leaves nothing out, you know, from the story. And if you know the story well, then you know there's plenty of violence and sex. And so that's why he has his warning in the front. But this is just the story. You know what's always struck me about Genesis is they make so much of the snake thing, and then it's like one, or the antagonist or the serpent or whatever, and then it's like one tiny little, look, this is how let's have a look here. This is how he depicts. Now, I don't know if I need to mark this as showing, you know, when you publish these things, you have to mark them as, are they suitable for children or something? I mean, I don't know. It's art, isn't it? Anyway, I was saying what strikes me is how little in the Bible is actually the story of the apple or whatever it is, the forbidden fruit that may or may not have been an apple, and the serpent, you know, who may or may not have started out as a serpent. I don't know. Anyway, it's like a couple of paragraphs. It's not much. And then there's a huge, massive story about it. that everyone makes a big deal of. Anyway, look, it's interesting. I think it's interesting. It's an interesting way to consume the chapter of Genesis in the Bible, if you like it, as whether as religion or just a cultural artifact, which is what I find most interesting about it. So, as I say, he takes it seriously. There's nothing satirical about this. He's not making fun of anything. He's just telling the story of Genesis as it was written, and then he's drawing it in his own inimical way. Okay. And as I say, for me, it's just not my favorite style. Thump. I like a little beauty. Okay, so that's the book of Genesis, illustrated by R. Crumb.